Maybe you've heard this before, that we have been created to the image of God. Maybe you have not understood what it means really. Are we talking about the physical image? Of course not, because that's not what we are. So what are we talking about? The energetic image. So for me, we are a consciousness. And a consciousness for me, it is a big ball of energy. So if we've been created to the image of God, it means that God is also a consciousness, a big ball of energy. If God is a creator, it means that we are creators too. And if the creator is a God, a divine being, it means that we are divine beings too. Not a human being as we believe it. You follow me? So if you believe that you are a limited human being in all of your power of God, what will you be? Very limited. So a consciousness is a big ball of energy. It is a creator. So what does a creator need in order to create? A source of energy. If a creator has no source of energy, how can he create? So inside that big ball of energy, in the middle, he has that source of energy that we can call vital energy. It is the energy that gives life, that makes things exist. When a creator creates something, he makes that thing exist. You've probably heard that this source of energy is infinite. Would it be possible that this source of energy would be finite instead? I'm asking hard questions, huh? No, it's not possible that the source of energy would be finite. Because it would mean that at some point there would be no more energy to create, so it would mean that a creator would not be able to create anymore, so he would not be a creator anymore, which goes totally to the opposite of what he is, which makes no sense. And you will understand later when I will explain more about that source of energy, how come it's infinite. So God created us to His own image, right?
Yes.
He created us using His infinite source of energy. That infinite source of energy is called love. Love is not what we think it is. It's not just love between two persons. Love is the energy of life. It is what makes things live. So God created us to His own image. He used love to create us. Because He's our creator and we are His creature, He has the responsibility to keep us alive by sending us always His love. That means that we have never missed love because we would be dead. Where we come from. I'm not talking about here now. So how do you know what love is if you have never missed any? To be able to compare, you need 2 points. You have always experienced love. You have never missed love because you would be dead, so you cannot experience it. Huh? So how can you know what is love for real? You can't. To be able to learn something, we need to remember it. And so if we die, it's like if we take our learning and we put it to the trash. It would be no good. So what is the solution? It is to come here and borrow a physical body that will live the lack of love for us and that will transmit to us all of His experience like if we did it for real. But it's not. So you're starting to see the illusions that you've been hearing about. There are lots of illusions, and we are going to talk about that today. There are many conditions that needs to be put in place so that we can experience the lack of love, so we can learn what is love. First condition. I said that where we come from, it is obvious to us that we are one with God because we are energy within energy. We cannot separate energy. So if we stay in that state, we will feel that God is always sending us His love. Will we be able to live the lack of love? No. So what did we need to create in order for us to live the lack of love? We needed to create separation. That's why we feel like we're not connected to God. That's why we feel like He's not there. But it's an illusion. So how did we create separation? We needed to create a void, to create space, in order to create objects that could not get inside one another, separated from one another. Because where we come from, when we are in the spirit world, we can go one inside the other very easily. There's no separation. But here, we needed to create matter, three-dimensional matter, in order to create objects that were separated and that they cannot get inside one another. So you see that matter has not been created by chance. Far from it. What else did we need to create in order for us to live the lack of love? I would ask the people who are taking notes, please stop. Because when you take notes, you are in your masculine energy and you are not in the feminine energy receiving it. And that's why we record it, so that you don't need to take notes. There is much more you receive than what I say. There's a lot of work being done in your energy field. There are things that you will receive in other ways. Some people here receive what I'm going to say before I say it. Yes, we all do telepathy. It's a matter of learning how to listen. And so if you're writing, you're not listening. If we stay in that state where we come from, like divine beings, are we able to live the lack of love?
No.
Why?
Because there's no love. They're one.
Because divine beings have no flaws. They have only qualities. Right? So what did we create to give us flaws? The ego. We needed the ego in order to have flaws and so that we can experience the lack of love. So you see that it was another necessity, another necessary condition for us to be able to live the lack of love. If we would have only the ego that brings us into the lack of love direction, would we be able to go back to love after? No, because there's another condition. It is that you must not remember who you were and what you did before when you come here, because if you did, you would know it's not true, that it's only one experience more that is being added to all the experiences that you've had before. So you would not be able to live the lack of love for real, and so you would not be able to learn what is love. So because of that, because you must not remember who you were and what you did before, you do not remember the choices you made before coming here. And so if we would have only the ego that would bring us into the lack of love, we would have no chance of going back to love. So we needed to create something else to help us go in the love direction. And what is it? Intuitions. What are intuitions? Sometimes we say, I have good intuitions. Is it coming from you?
No.
No. What are intuitions? Intuitions, it is a communication channel. So of course it does not come from you what you hear from that channel. We need to be guided. We come here blinded. We do not remember anything from before. We need guidance.